What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're actually going from downtown LA to Riverside actually. I haven't been down this route in a long time, but it's a pretty long one, 55 miles in morning rush hour traffic. It's 8:46 a.m. So let's see how Autopilot does, or Tesla Autopilot, no full self-driving. See how Autopilot does in this morning drive to see if it glitches or if it's pretty smooth along this whole ride there. So welcome back to the channel and thanks for watching another video, and let's get into it. Got these tires in the back trunk right now. They've been there for like at least a couple weeks now. So if you know anybody that wants to buy Michelin Sport Super Sport tires, 20-inch size, I'll paste links below to more details. And if anybody wants to buy them, I need to get them out of my trunk. Okay, so we are getting on the highway now. I usually get on the highway in this area of the morning anyways, so this part probably won't be that much different than my usual drive, but I am taking, I guess, the 60 East all the way down to Riverside. All right, so I just got on the highway, about to make a couple left lane changes. Gonna get all the way to the left side because I'm pretty sure I have to go straight through to the left onto the next highway. Alright, we're in the lane, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it into Autopilot. Now that I set the Autopilot setting to go 20 miles above the speed limit, it automatically sets my speed to 75 because the current speed limit is 55. So it's a really good setting. So if you don't have full self-driving and you just have Autopilot, I would really make sure you go into the settings to make that change in the Autopilot settings. A little bit of braking here because this van is slowing down trying to get into the right lane. It does have its right ticker on, but I guess the cars around it are just still a little bit freaking out. The car just got out of the lane, and now we are slowly increasing speed. There still is another car in front of us right there, so it's just going to slowly close the gap in front of us. This car is just going pretty slow right now, even though all the cars around it are going a lot faster, so I'm probably just going to throw it out of Autopilot just so I can pass this car. I'm gonna pass it on the left. For some reason he's going really slow, and I'm gonna go around it and then throw it back into Autopilot. So that's interesting because even though the speed limit is 55, Autopilot set it to 75 because I have the plus 20 mile per hour limit. Let me go into the Autopilot setting to see if I can set it to, okay, so I could probably set it to current speed, but then that means if I'm going pretty slow, like 30 miles an hour, it's only gonna set it to like 50 or 60 miles an hour, so that might not be worth it. I do need to get into the right side to go into 60 East, so I'm going to make that right lane change and then throw it back into Autopilot again. So this definitely is the most annoying thing about Autopilot and not having full self-driving. Because you don't have full self-driving, you don't have the auto lane change feature, which allows you to stay in Autopilot when you want to make left lane or right lane changes. So hopefully, I mean, I wish Tesla would just sell the auto lane change feature by itself for like, I don't know, I don't even know if I would pay $1,000 to $2,000 for it because it's not that much annoying. But if it was like a subscription to it of just that feature, because that's the only feature that I know works pretty well, I would probably pay for it. But even then, it's only alleviating some annoyance of me kicking it out of Autopilot. What's a really interesting idea that I've heard come up a couple times is around the full self-driving subscription. If owners could pay on a per time use or per drive use instead of a monthly or weekly or even daily use. That'd be a pretty interesting concept to see if, because we don't necessarily need to use full self-driving all the time. Sometimes people just like to drive. So if you could just pay a per use policy for full self-driving, that would be super interesting. We're going about 62 miles an hour. The left lane is definitely going a little bit faster, so I'm going to go ahead and make the left lane change manually. I'm going to increase speed also manually, make another left lane change because I'm pretty sure I go on this highway for a good amount of time, 60 East. Now I'm going about 85 miles an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it into Autopilot. Yeah, it looks like I'm just continuing on the 60 East, or the 60, all the way to Riverside. We currently have 57% on the battery. I'm definitely going to need a charge on the way back. We're gonna get there around with 37% of the battery, which is using about 20% to go 59 miles, I think is what I calculated. So that's about 2.8 miles, give or take, per percentage point. So it's not too bad, but we're definitely gonna need a charge at least either in Riverside or on the way back, because we're gonna arrive back in downtown LA with 17% of the battery, which is certainly not enough for the rest of the weekend. So I think I'm gonna drop by one of the superchargers out here, maybe do a quick review actually, and charge up to about 80%, and then that way when I get home, I'll at least have 60% of the battery. Definitely a lot of semi-trucks and industrial trucks around here. I don't want to stay in this guy's blind spot too much longer, so I'm going to throw it out of autopilot, make the left lane because I don't want any rock trips or anything like that. So that was probably a pretty dangerous move right there for most. We're getting out from beside these trucks, especially that industrial one or construction one, and now I'm going to throw it back into autopilot. Pretty much just cruising along right here, about 74 miles an hour, just following these cars in front of us. Really, there's no issues here. Pretty open highway, a little bit of cars and a little bit of traffic, but nothing autopilot or Tesla autopilot can't handle like a champ. In terms of the conditions outside, it's 70 degrees, pretty clear skies with a little bit of clouds. Not too hazy, not too bright, so the Tesla Autopilot system camera should be able to handle this pretty easily. Increasing speed to about 85 miles an hour, just pacing these cars in front of us and the trucks on the right. The nag timer has been going off quite a bit, but we're just following these cars in front of us. I should reduce speed to conserve some of the battery, but since I'm going to go to a supercharger later anyways, it really is not going to be that much of an issue. As far as what version this is, I believe this is the latest update. I just installed one, but it's version 10.2, 2021.4.18.2, and this is the latest version as of the time of this recording with no pending updates. But pretty smooth ride so far, just going 74 miles an hour now. Not too much traffic, just following along the 60 East. So if there's not going to be any more traffic coming up here, I might just go ahead and end this video because it's going to be pretty boring to be watching all of this. But we can see here that it doesn't really look like there's too much traffic along the way, or it looks like all the traffic is coming back the other way. Let's see, we'll pop back in a little bit. We'll see when we go through these other highway interchanges. We'll see if there's any traffic along those routes. So we're going 71 miles an hour now, and there's a lot of gap in front of us. There's a car on my ass right now, probably wondering why we have so much gap in front of us, but I probably should get out of the speeding lane, move over to the right lane, because it seems like traffic has pretty much let up and I can just chill in the other lane to the right. Okay, so this car is coming out of our lane now, so we should have enough room to be able to accelerate up to the 87 miles an hour that it's set at. So Tesla now is accelerating up to 87 pretty quickly now, actually. I guess it sees that there's really no cars in front of us, so it's just gonna go ahead and gun it or accelerate. But now we're going 88 miles an hour, probably depleting the battery pretty quickly at a 302 watt hour per mile. Probably gonna close this gap a little bit, and then I'll move over to the right side to chill on the highway. Coming up on this car right now, so probably going to move over to the right. I'm going to throw it out of autopilot. Signal to the right. And that's it. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw it back into autopilot. Probably set it back down to like a 79 to conserve some of this battery, since we are going to be driving probably like 120 miles today. But this is where I'm going to go ahead and end, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Please hit that like if you enjoyed it, and comment below if you have any questions on the Tesla Autopilot system or even purchasing a Tesla. Love to hear your thoughts. All right, guys, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.